For all its beauty and splendor, the wilderness can be a cruel teacher. Daredevil stunts are a reckless gamble, with the odds stacked heavily against you. The thrill of the moment might be intoxicating, but the reality is that these stunts often end in horrific injury or death. The human body is not built to survive falls from great heights, high-speed impacts, or other extreme forces. When you tempt fate with these dangerous acts, you are one mistake away from becoming another tragic statistic. Let's venture back to the savage wilderness, where survival is earned, not given. This is Outdoor Disasters. Niagara Falls is a place where the raw power and beauty of nature come together in a breathtaking display. Standing at the edge, you witness one of the greatest wonders of the natural world, a cascade of water that has thundered relentlessly for thousands of years. Every second, over 700,000 gallons or 27 million liters of water rush over the three falls: Horseshoe Falls, American Falls, and Bridal Veil Falls, creating a spectacle that captivates and humbles all who see it. The sheer magnitude of Niagara Falls is awe-inspiring. The Horseshoe Falls, the largest of the three, plunges 180 feet or 55 meters into the turbulent waters below, while the American Falls and Bridal Veil Falls offer their own majestic displays. Together, they form the border between Canada and the United States, symbolizing the power of nature that transcends boundaries and unites us all in wonder. Yet, for some, the awe-inspiring beauty of Niagara Falls was not enough. They sought to conquer it, to challenge the very forces of nature, and in doing so, to etch their names into history. Stunts at Niagara Falls are a staple in popular culture in the Americas, with many making the leap over the terrifying edge. The Daredevil legacy began in 1901 with Annie Edson Taylor, a 63-year-old schoolteacher who became the first person to survive going over Niagara Falls in a barrel, hoping to gain fame and financial security. After a brief, terrifying plunge, Taylor emerged alive, albeit bruised. Despite her success, fame and fortune eluded her, and she spent her later years selling postcards of her daring feat. The early 20th century saw more attempts to conquer the falls. In 1920, Charles Stevens, an English barber, tragically died when his weighted barrel broke apart upon impact. Only his right arm was recovered. A decade earlier, in 1911, Bobby Leach survived the fall in a steel barrel, though he suffered severe injuries. Stunts continued into the modern era. In 1951, William Red Hill Jr. tried to go over the falls in a homemade contraption of inner tubes, but did not survive. In October of 1985, Canadian mechanic John Super Dave Munday made a successful trip in his barrel and would make a second successful trip on September 26, 1993. In 2003, Kirk Jones from Canton, Michigan, made history as the first person to survive a plunge over Niagara Falls, wearing nothing but the clothes on his back. Within 8 seconds, he plunged 180 feet over the falls and remarkably swam to shore. After the stunt, Kirk was treated at a local hospital for minor injuries and released, but not before being fined $2,300 and receiving a lifetime ban from entering Canada. He then tried to go over again in 2017 while riding inside an 8-foot plastic ball and carrying his pet boa constrictor named Misty. Authorities never found the snake, but they did recover the ball and Jones's body from the lower Niagara River. There have been approximately 16 attempts by people going over the edge of Niagara Falls, with 6 total fatalities. Niagara Falls remains a symbol of nature's power and a challenge to human courage. The daredevils who faced the falls, whether they succeeded or perished, remind us of the thin line between bravery and recklessness. For Robert Overacker, his Niagara Falls stunt would be a catastrophic failure. Robert Overacker was born on July 4, 1956, in Santa Monica, California. Growing up in the shadow of the Pacific Ocean, he developed a love for the elements that shaped his world. From a young age, Robert was captivated by the idea of pushing boundaries. Throughout his life, Robert has worked various jobs, but none of them could satisfy his thirst for adventure. His true passion was stunts and extreme sports. But it wasn't just about the thrill for him. Robert was searching for something deeper, something that would give his life meaning beyond the fleeting rush of adrenaline. This search led him to an unexpected cause: homelessness. In the vibrant and diverse communities of California, Robert had seen firsthand the struggles of those who lived on the streets. He was moved by their plight. Society often turned a blind eye to their suffering. Robert became determined to do something about it. He realized that raising awareness about homelessness required more than just words. People needed to be shocked out of their complacency and confronted with the harsh realities that so many face daily. And so, an idea began to take shape in his mind, a stunt that would capture the world's attention and force them to see what he had seen. For 7 years, Robert meticulously planned his most dangerous stunt yet, going over Niagara Falls. It wasn't just about the danger or the thrill. It was about making a statement. Niagara Falls, with its awe-inspiring beauty and terrifying power, was the perfect symbol of the edge between life and death. If he could survive the falls, it would be a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a stark reminder of the precarious existence of those living on the streets. Robert's friends tried to talk him out of it, fearing for his life. They knew he was serious about this cause, but they couldn't bear the thought of losing him. Twice he agreed to postpone the stunt, but the pull of his mission was too strong. He couldn't ignore the call to action, the need to make the world listen. On October 1st, 1995, 39-year-old Robert Overacker ventured to Niagara Falls to attempt the audacious stunt, fully aware that stunts at Niagara Falls have a long and often tragic history, with several people losing their lives in their pursuit of fame, adventure, or personal goals. Attempting a stunt at Niagara Falls, particularly one as daring as going over the edge on a jet ski and relying on a parachute to survive, would undoubtedly be a momentous and intense experience. The mindset and feelings of someone on the day of such an attempt would likely encompass a range of emotions driven by a mix of excitement, fear, determination, and focus. Overacker was likely reviewing every detail of his plan repeatedly in his mind, mentally running through the logistics of the stunt, ensuring that he was familiar with each step he needed to take. Overacker likely double-checked his equipment, ensuring that the jet ski was in optimal condition and that the parachute was packed correctly. Any last-minute adjustments or checks would be critical. The anticipation of the stunt would cause a significant adrenaline rush. His senses were heightened, making him acutely aware of every sound, movement, and even the weather conditions. Robert likely felt anxious, knowing he was about to do something incredibly dangerous that few have ever attempted. But this stunt wasn't just about personal glory or achievement. It was for a cause he believed desperately needed more attention, and something as daring as going over Niagara Falls perfectly fit the bill. Although Robert Overacker thought he was prepared for the stunt, there was one critical oversight that would ultimately prove catastrophic. On October 1st, 1995, at 12:35 p.m., thousands of tourists gathered at the edge of Niagara Falls to witness Robert Overacker's daring stunt. The location was Horseshoe Falls, the largest and most powerful of Niagara's 3 waterfalls, known for its breathtaking drop and relentless churning waters. Among the onlookers was German tourist Manfred Baldus, who captured the moment on video, unaware that he was about to document a disaster. As the footage begins, Robert is seen approaching the brink of the falls, the roar of the water growing louder with each passing second. The anticipation in the air was palpable, with spectators eagerly awaiting what was sure to be a breathtaking display of bravery. Just before reaching the precipice, Robert released his grip on the jet ski with "Save the Homeless" written on the sides of his machine, lifting his hands high into the air, a gesture that seemed to symbolize both triumph and defiance in the face of danger. In an instant, he vanished from sight as he went over the edge, swallowed by the thundering cascade of water. At that critical moment, Robert attempted to deploy his rocket-propelled parachute, a crucial component of his plan meant to ensure his safe descent into the turbulent waters below. However, Robert didn't realize that the parachute had not been adequately attached to him. Instead of carrying him safely down, The parachute fell uselessly into the water, leaving him to plummet into the unforgiving rapids. The realization of this fatal error came too late, and Robert met a tragic end in front of horrified onlookers, including his brother and a close friend who had accompanied him to the falls. Initially, those who witnessed the incident clung to the hope that Robert might have survived. The powerful rapids tossed his body around, creating the illusion that he was swimming, desperately trying to navigate the deadly waters. But as time passed, the grim reality became clear. Robert had not survived the fall, and the rapids had only added to the tragic spectacle. Tom Dettenbeck, a Parks police dispatcher, compared hitting the water from that height to hitting cement. "You're talking 1 million gallons of water going over the falls in a second," he said. The video, later shared on YouTube by a relative of Baldus, carried a haunting description. "My family was visiting from Germany and just happened to be casually filming when Robert ramped the bleep out of the falls on a jet ski and went out in the best way possible, fists in the air." Schmidt's words, though intended to convey admiration for Robert's bravery, underscored the bittersweet nature of the event, a daring act of defiance that ended in sorrow. Some viewers of the video recounted their own memories of that fateful day. One commenter shared, "I watched this from the balcony of the Falls View Sheraton. It was the morning after a wedding spent at the hotel. The few of us were shaking off cobwebs from the night before and watched this incredulously as it happened." Their words echoed the sense of disbelief and shock that had permeated the crowd that day, as a bold stunt turned into a tragic reminder of the dangers of such stunts. Robert's body was recovered from the water by Maid of Mist staff, and he was pronounced dead at Niagara General Hospital an hour after the stunt. Despite the tragic outcome, Robert Overacker is remembered for his adventurous spirit and desire to raise awareness for a cause he believed in. Robert Overacker's jet ski is immortalized at the Daredevil Museum in Niagara Falls, serving as a powerful and poignant reminder of the risks taken by those who have dared to challenge the mighty falls. The display captures a complex narrative, one of bravery, tragedy, and the relentless human drive to make a difference, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It ensures that his story and the cause he championed will not be forgotten. Attempting daredevil stunts, particularly at a place as perilous as Niagara Falls, is not just reckless, it's courting death. The falls are an unforgiving force of nature, with millions of gallons of water cascading down every second, creating a powerful, chaotic environment where survival is far from guaranteed. The sheer drop, the relentless current, and the jagged rocks below are a lethal combination that has claimed the lives of many who believed they could defy the odds. Surviving a plunge over Niagara Falls is extremely unlikely and incredibly dangerous. Still, in theory, there are a few factors and steps that could improve the chances of survival, as shown by the many who have survived the plunge. However, it's important to emphasize that attempting such a feat is illegal, highly reckless, and should never be attempted. Historically, those who survived went over the falls in reinforced barrels or capsules designed to absorb impact and protect against the crushing force of the water. Wearing a helmet and body armor can offer additional protection against the impact and rocks below. The angle and orientation at which you enter the water could make a significant difference. A head-first or feet-first entry would be disastrous. Instead, you'd want to enter in a way that maximizes the surface area, like a flat position, to distribute the impact forces. A well-designed flotation device could help keep you afloat and reduce the risk of drowning after the fall. The base of the falls is filled with jagged rocks, and survival would likely depend on avoiding these and landing in a deeper part of the water. Those who choose to challenge Niagara Falls are not just risking their lives, they're gambling with a losing hand. The allure of fame or the thrill of the stunt can cloud judgment, but no amount of preparation can fully account for the unpredictable and deadly power of the falls. It's a decision that too often ends in tragedy, leaving behind shattered families and a grim reminder that nature doesn't play games. The history of stunts at Niagara Falls is littered with stories of those who met their end in a futile attempt to conquer something that cannot be tamed. It's a stark warning: no stunt is worth dying for, and the price of underestimating the falls is often paid with an outdoor disaster. If you've made it this far, please consider clicking those subscribe and like buttons. Want more outdoor disasters content? Check out these videos I believe you'll enjoy. Thank you for watching.